All right, well, the other day, this coffee pot died. It's been in service for probably 3 or 4 years. I do clean it occasionally, maybe not as much as I should, but some vinegar and water, and it's not in that bad a shape. It's got just a little bit of calcium buildup. Just use regular water in it. So let's go ahead and move these things out of the way. It just stopped heating. The wife, I was on the night shift, and the wife called me up and go, hey, the coffee pot light's on, but nothing is happening. So let's go ahead and plug it into the kilowatt here. You can see the watts up there. 0.9 watts, 1 watt in standby. There it goes, 0.91. Come on, make up your mind. And kind of hard to see, but the clock is flashing 12. Camera's strobing. So let's go ahead and hit the go button right here. And I do have a green LED telling me that the power is on, and we're still drawing 1 watt. We should be drawing about 900 and something watts at this point. Let's flip it over and try to get zoomed in on it just a tad. There it is right there. 120 volts, 975 watts is what we should be drawing. And like I said, 1 watt, and the power is still on. You see the green LED in that corner right there is illuminated. Do we just have a bad relay? Did we lose the thermal snap disk in here somewhere? But it's still just staying at 1 watt, even though I am repeatedly turning this thing on and off. Is the relay bad? I don't know. I had another one fail a couple years ago, and I did a warranty exchange on it, and I think this is the replacement unit. And this thing was made by Spectrum Products, Spectrum Tools, I think. Maybe it mentions something about that down here. Yeah, Spectrum Brands, Middletown, Wisconsin, made in China. All the best stuff is made in China. And so let's go ahead and try to pop this thing open and just take a quick look around. Now, one of the things that we're going to have to overcome is that a regular Phillips? It is. Have I been in here before? That's a Phillips. That's a Phillips. That one's missing. That one's missing. I think I've been in here before. Oh, that's interesting. I don't remember disassembling this unit. Obviously, we might get a CAT scan on it here. Anyhow, let's go ahead and pop the bottom off of it. Let's move the cat out of the way. There we go. You stay right there. And we'll see what happens. Not sure why. It probably had security screws in it if I had to guess. And I took them out. I don't know if I was doing a cleaning or what. Let's see if we can get this thing popped open somehow. All right, might need a little persuasion here. Maybe not that much. Wow, this thing is on there. There we go. Oh, you know, I think what happened is it overflowed one day. And, yeah, all 3 screws are out. It overflowed. And, there we go. And I took it apart just to clean the insides. There's the timer board. Looks perfectly fine. So it does have 2 thermal fuses just in case something were to happen. So let's go ahead and get an ohm meter out. Power has been removed. Obviously, it is unplugged at this moment. There is the relay. And from what I can see, this is just, I don't remember. Well, I can't get it out easily. So let me grab an ohm meter. That will do quite nicely. We'll just put her down here, put her in the ohm range, and the first thing I'm going to do is just do an ohm check of the element, the thermal element. that lives in this tube right here. This is for the water, and so this should be a check valve in one of these, and then the actual element is the lower section right here, and it does have some numbers on it. It does say 120 volts, 975 W1 right there. So let's just do an ohm check on it. Hope you can still see the meter there. First, I'll just verify the leads are working. And we got 0.3 ohms. And I'm seeing 14 ohms on that element. That's good. So let's go ahead and check the thermal fuses first, as we're getting another CAT scan here. That one checks perfectly fine. And that one checks perfectly fine as well. So did we just lose a thermal switch? Snap switch? And yes, okay, hang on. I don't need a CAT scan right now. I'm getting to the bottom of this. Let me move the cat out of the way just a little bit. And she wants to come back and do another CAT scan. No, you stay here. So yeah, we lost, it's 30 megohms. That's not good. Had one of these fail at work the other day. Well, it's like a year ago. We'll give her a couple of hits right there. And we're still open, so we have a bad thermal snap switch. I wonder if it's even worth trying to find a replacement. The replacement coffee pot was about 25 bucks. Let me get a appropriate type of screwdriver, standard blade. We'll see if we can get this thing out of here. It just snaps into place on the snap switch. Okay. Let me just move this out of the way. They did weld the terminals onto it when they manufactured it, so as to not produce excess heat in this thing. It is nice that it has two thermal fuses, just in case, you know, never know what's going to happen. Let's see if I can find a little cutter. And we'll just cut these guys off of here. All right, there is the thermal snap switch. We'll move the rest of the coffee pot out of the way and find some kind of a towel that I can wipe off the end of this. It does have heatsink compound on it. And we'll just take a look and see what it has to say. Try to zoom in on it just a hair. You know what? Let me enable. No, it's good. So 150 is, that's not 150 degrees Celsius. That'd be way too hot. So I see T something slash 33, 125 volts, 10 amps. Yeah, T133. 125 volts, 10 amps, 150. I would expect it to open up just below the boiling point. So terminals appear to be tight on it. Yes, they are. Let's do an ohm check again. Got the meter right there. We'll verify lead integrity here. And our leads are good. Huh. I really thought that just giving it a couple smackaroos. Yeah, now we're back in the 30 megohm range again, 32 megohms. Move it over here so you can see the megohm scale. Well, I might try to find another one of these. I thought for sure the thermal element was going to be the culprit on this unit, but obviously not. So if anybody knows the temperature rating on this, I'm sure it's not 150 degrees Celsius, because 100 degrees Celsius is the boiling point of water, 212 degrees Fahrenheit. So, and 33 is way too cold, because I think 85 degrees Celsius is about 185 degrees Fahrenheit. I wonder what this is supposed to open up at. So what is supposed to happen with this thing, another CAT scan going on here. Once the water evaporates away, the thermal element reaches a higher temperature, and this thing should open until it cools down, and then it recloses, heats up again. So that's the temperature control of the unit. So anyhow, if anybody has any ideas on what the actual temperature of this unit is, please put it in the comments. Let me know. And I might try to save this as a spare. I'll have to figure out how to reconnect that thermal fuse, which I should be able to use a little bit of heat sink. Put some pliers on the lead, and I could solder it. I've done that before with good results. But anyhow, there is the coffee pot. Hopefully trying to save it, keep it as a backup. Everything else looks pretty good. Like I said, there is the... why won't this come out? Is it got a screw in there? I think it's just pressed into place. Now, give me just a moment. Let me try to get this out of here. Okay, well, got it out. Everything's good. Didn't break anything in the process. It's just got a little tab right here that clips into that slot. So it looks like a capacitive dropper, and the proper name for this is capacitance reactance, where the capacitor acts like a resistor at a certain frequency. Zener diode right down there. Been running warm. That's expected. So it should supply a 5-volt source on, so what would that be? Pin 1 is the relay, pin 2 is 5 volts, pin 3 is ground, and pin 4 is zero crossing. And it uses that to sync the time, so it knows what the time is. Everything else looks pretty good on this thing. Bridge rectifier right there. Another diode there. So as far as I can tell, this board's fine. It did light up the display, no problem. And it appears maybe that is a built-in fuse with all the wiggly lines right there. But anyhow, yeah, let me know if you know what the temperature rating of that thermal fuse is. And maybe there'll be a part 2 if I can find a replacement. All right, everyone, thanks for watching. Remember, with your help, we can try to keep these things out of the landfill, out of the recycle bin, and out of the e-waste facility. Once again, thanks for watching. Everyone have a great day. Bye-bye. She's going more than just a CAT scan. She's trying to clean it up and fix it. Good job, Sandy. Good job. Check, check, check. 1, 2, 3. Check, check, check.